Rubina.
And I'm Layla.
Welcome back to our channel, Elementary My Dear,
where we make nutrition science easy for you to digest.
So today we want to talk about ourselves.
Arguably the most interesting topic we're going to cover. So
full disclosure, a couple of months ago, we actually recorded a full-out intro video where we introduce ourselves to you and talk about why we created this channel and what this channel is going to be about, what our commitment to you is, all of that stuff. And we had, pandemic. We recorded it on Zoom, and
it just looks like garbage.
The quality was questionable.
Yeah.
And we didn't feel good about putting that out there for you, but as we ended up scrapping it, and then like a week ago we realized that
you don't know who we are.
We never ended up introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play a little catch up and do that today.
Yeah. All right. So I'm Layla.
And I'm Rubina.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys got that down from our first few videos.
We're both actually studying to become registered dietitians in Canada. So I actually have a previous degree in engineering, and I worked in IT and application development for a few years. And during that time, I was just kind of learning a lot more about nutrition just on my own time. And I saw how much, changing how I was eating was really affecting my life in a very positive way. And during that time, I just got really passionate about nutrition and health, and I kind of wanted to enter that career so that I could kind of pass on the message and help other people in that way as well. So I decided to go back to school to become a registered dietitian. And in some ways it feels like it's been a really long journey, and in some ways it feels like time has just flown by. But I have about a year to go to become a registered dietitian, so getting there. Yeah. Really excited.
And my name is Layla. My background isn't quite as interesting as Rubina's. I went into my undergrad at Ryerson, which is the same program Rubina was in. That's how we met. Right after high school, and really that was driven just by my passion for food. Like, just in the household that I grew up in, food was so important, and my mom really talked about like that importance of food for health, and I've always been very active, and I knew that there was a link between the food you ate and your performance, and so that's what got me interested. And I just went to my guidance counselor, and she was like, here, and I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and that's how I ended up here. So now I'm doing my master's in nutrition at Ryerson University as well, and hopefully I will be a dietitian in like 3 weeks. Yeah.
At the time of recording.
At the time of recording. So maybe because I guess I'm gonna process it, CDO, application. This is the College of Dietitians of Ontario. By the time they process it, maybe 5 weeks. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so we're almost there. And then, like you said, it feels like it's been a long journey, but also a very short journey. And my journey is coming not to, I guess, an end, but we're crossing that first barrier to becoming, I guess, like a nutrition professional and no longer a nutrition student.
Exactly.
So,
so I'm doing my master's at the University of Toronto, and as you mentioned, we met at Ryerson University doing our undergrads in nutrition, and we actually met working at a nutrition research lab there. We were both research assistants there, so a couple of years ago we got to really know each other, and then last fall, I guess October, November, we decided to start this channel.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that my experiences working at this research lab has really opened my eyes to the process of nutrition research and made me appreciate what goes into good nutrition research and how knowledge is really formed.
No, I completely agree. I think even though we've done a lot of courses in our undergrad and probably in our master's too, about the process of research, I think it's my exposure to the actual research process in that lab that really kind of, again, it opened my eyes and really drove home the message and really made me appreciate the complexity of the scientific process. And that's been a huge inspiration for us for this channel, because there's so much nutrition information out there, and there's so much nutrition misinformation out there.
Yes.
And with so many random people calling themselves experts and making these claims, and a lot of it sounds believable and sounds legitimate, we really want to kind of be a credible source in the online space for nutrition information.
Even scrolling through Instagram, I see like 10 different posts about 10 different diets I should be on, and like another 10 posts about food you should avoid or they're gonna kill you. And so it really is confusing.
Definitely. I think for anyone, when you see these posts and so much of it seems like it could be true, and you're looking for answers, right? You want to optimize your health and you have your own goals. So, you might be tempted to try all of these things out, and we want to be a source of information that you can kind of trust in this space, and we're going to give you the science, the unbiased truth behind nutrients and foods and everything to do with nutrition and health and our bodies.
Also that little bit of nuance that sometimes is missing from those huge like nutrition headlines. Well, we're trying to give you a little bit of that nuance,
The biggest eye-opening things from working at the lab and from our entire education so far too, that there's very little that's black and white when it comes to nutrition and health. There's so much variability, there's so much context that you have to take into account, that anytime you see someone kind of making a blanket statement that everyone should do this very specific thing, that should probably raise some red flags,
exactly.
So now we have a little game to kind of get to know each other a little bit more. So we each came up with 3 questions that we're going to ask the other, and we don't know what the other person's thought of or what the other person's going to ask. So
here we go.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm nervous too. I don't know what Urbina's got up her sleeve here. All right. So who's going first?
I don't know.
Should we rock, paper, scissors?
To go first or to choose?
To go first. So if you win, you go first.
So do I want to win or do I want to
I don't know. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, you go first.
Oh wait, I didn't even want to. Okay.
All right, what's your first question?
Okay, so my first question is, Layla, what would your last meal on Earth be?
That's really hard, actually. I love food so much. There are so many foods that I would want to try. So I think I need to have some kind of like sampling plate.
Oh, clever.
Definitely incorporate on there would be one of my favorite foods ever, which is like fried sweet like ripe plantain. It's so good. It's my favorite thing. Brings me back to my childhood with my grandma and whatever.
So sweet.
Oh, what else would be on
Ripe
there?
plantains are really good. I don't have them enough. I should.
Well, don't worry, I'll make them for you. We'll have a little fried plantain party. What else would be on there? Wow, I have a huge sweet tooth. So like every kind of dessert, maybe some cookies, some cheesecake. Because if I'm about to die, who cares about that? Lactose intolerance, out the window. So we'll put a lot of dairy on there. And
what type of cookies though? Let's get to the important things.
I love a classic chocolate chip. A classic chocolate chip, gooey, moist, delicious.
Good call.
And maybe some good seafood. I love oysters.
Really?
I love shrimp. So yeah, that would be it's a little all over the place. But
the weirdest charcuterie board ever.
Y'all are sleeping on it. You're sleeping on my charcuterie board. Plantain, seafood, and dessert. All right, so now I've been put on the hot seat. What would be your last meal then?
Oh. You know what my last meal would be? I don't know if this is dumb, but honestly, my last meal would be fully loaded nachos.
I know you love nachos.
I love nachos.
Yeah.
Pulled pork, like all the cheese, and like have salsa and guacamole and like onions and jalapeno, and you gotta have the pulled pork in there.
All right, I know. Yeah. I remember we
I'm
used
like
to go
drooling so hard right now.
Yeah, we used to go after work for nachos. I remember that a couple times, but I don't think they were quite as good as the ones.
Those were
those
were a little disappointing. We won't mention
the establishment. Okay. All right. Very good to know. All right.
Was that actually one of your questions for me? Or
no.
Are you
we gotta both answer the question.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So does that mean it's my turn?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think is the most interesting diet fad that you've come across recently?
Ooh. Oh my god, there's so many flying through my head right now. I don't know if there's any like recent ones.
And like interesting isn't necessarily like meaning like they're like truthful or like
Yeah,
whatever, but
yeah.
just interesting and like, oh, how did someone think of that? Or oh, how do people do that kind of thing?
I think the celery juice one is always, it's not that recent, it's been around for
It
a
comes
while.
back around every so often.
And it was so pervasive on Instagram for, I feel like it might be dying down now, but like 2-3 years ago, like every fitness and wellness influencer online was doing the celery juice thing. And I thought it's so fascinating to me because the person who came up with it, he calls himself the medical medium, and the whole thing is that he gets visions or some sort of spirit communication about nutrition related things. So it's just so fascinating to me that so many people have bought into the celery juice thing.
All right, I didn't know the background on that. So
yeah,
very interesting. Okay,
that's always stuck with me. And again, I do think it might be dying out a little bit now. But I think what's interesting to me about it too is that celery juice, it's not like it's not really something that people can sell. Like you're not selling a supplement or a product. It's like just going and getting a lot of celery, and if you have
maybe
a juicer,
he has like a stock share in.
Well, he has a book on the topic.
Okay.
but still, it's not. I don't know. I just the marketing of it. It just blows me away that it got as big as it has.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
What about you?
I would say the carnivore diet.
Oh, yeah.
I find it so interesting, and like the people who are really big proponents of it, they're like very strong. They're like very strong about it. Like there's whole internet communities about it. And I also think it's very interesting how a lot of these people, like they have medical conditions that have kind of like fallen through the cracks, and this is kind of like their last ditch effort at kind of resolving those. So I find that very interesting, but also just how much it's taken off in the past little while, and also the people who believe in it really believe in it very strongly, and any kind of opposition they really push back against, which is interesting. So the carnivore diet, that's interesting. I've also heard people say like, this is how our ancestors ate, da 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 da, which is actually just not true. That's not how our ancestors ate at all. So yeah, I find the carnivore diet very interesting, and I wonder how those people's bowel movements are.
I always wondered that too.
Yeah.
Actually, that argument about how our ancestors ate, I think it's used in a lot of contexts, on a lot of different dietary beliefs.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's like, is that your goal? Like, is that your goal to live to 30? And like, I feel like our definition of what good health is a lot different now, right? We're aiming to 100 or more, and you want to be physically able and mentally able and cognitively capable up to that point. Like I feel our goal of what is different now, right? Like
definitely. So yeah, so I think that's a very, very good point. And you hear like with the paleo and all these different things, you're like, it's unnatural for us to eat this and this, but however, like food processing got us to where we are today.
Yeah.
Agriculture got us to where we are today, and without those, who knows what our life would look like. So yeah,
that's a good point too.
All right, what's your next question?
Okay, so my next question, it's a little more serious.
Oh, okay. All right, let me get in the headspace for this.
My question is, if you weren't becoming a dietitian, if you could do anything else in the world, what would you be doing?
That is hard. When I was in high school, I actually had applied to both nutrition and also to chemical engineering. And I really, really, really love chemistry. I find it very, very interesting. And I also like the engineering aspect of solving problems. So honestly, I think I would go with my 18-year-old self's other option of kind of chemical engineering. So Rubina, we know that you already had a career before becoming almost dietitian, before studying to become a dietitian. What else would you do?
Okay, So it really depends on what the parameters of this question is. Even though it was my question, I guess. I think if we're talking about like my fantasy world, like so not. I was thinking like within the context of my skills and my thing, or like fantasy world.
Anything.
Fantasy world, if I could literally be any person with any skill on the planet, I'd be a dancer.
Oh, that's amazing. Have you
I can't dance. I can't dance at all. I've taken dance classes like on and off through childhood and then like a little bit into adulthood, but like I actually don't have a musical bone in my body, but I think that's why I'm so fascinated by like musicians and dancers, because I just like don't get it. Like it's just so beyond anything that I am capable of doing that I love watching dance. It's just it puts me in such a good mood. It's just like so inspiring to me, and I just wish I had that skill.
Okay, well, it's never too late to pick up something. Yeah.
I mean, in theory.
To be fair, I have not ever seen you dance, so who knows?
I don't have a musical bone in my body, but I love dancing. Like, so I have taken classes, like, again, like on and off through my childhood and in adulthood, and I always loved it. I was never good at it, but it did bring me joy to do it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So now your turn.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Have I asked 2 questions already?
No, just one. I asked my second question.
Okay.
So now your second question.
Oh, right. Okay. I think this kind of... Actually, okay. What meal or food represents you? Like, if you were a food, what food would you be?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so we need to, like, get into symbolism and
yes.
things? Ooh,
yes.
That's tricky. See, one comes to mind, but I don't actually like the food.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. What is it?
I was thinking of creme brulee.
Creme brulee is delicious. So
okay, I've only tried it once and I didn't like it, but it's fun to. So the symbolism there is that I think I sometimes maybe come across like hard to people when they first meet me.
And then they crack you with their spoon and they get you that soft, sweet interior. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Okay, I love it. That's amazing.
Maybe I need to try creme brulee again, though.
Yes, there's a really good spot. I forget what it's called, but we'll find it.
Okay.
They have so many different flavors. I love creme brulee.
Different flavors.
Yeah.
Oh,
they have like Earl Grey and stuff like that.
What about you?
I think that I would have to be probably something like deep fried, because I'm a very high energy person, and so foods that have a lot of oil in them, they're high energy as well.
Deep fried what?
I know, that's a good question. That is a good question. Maybe like something like spicy and spicy deep fried chicken or something.
Ooh.
I think mostly just because of the deep friedness. Also with the spice, I think comes along like a little bit of like zhuzh to the personality, and I like to think that I'm pretty interesting.
Maybe like a nice like deep fried samosa.
Ooh, yes, I love it. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. Yes, so deep fried samosa, that's me. And in the inside, it's like a pocket on them, and the inside there's like even more to it.
Yeah.
Just so interesting. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question for you, Layla, is if you could only have one like type of cuisine from one part of the world for the rest of your life, every meal, every snack,
every single meal,
for the rest of your long life, what would it be?
That's very difficult.
And feel free to answer what your answer would be in the comments below too. Love to hear.
Like for the culture, I want to say Jamaican. But I love the food so much, but I don't think I would pick that as my every meal forever. I really like Mexican food. I think that I love the freshness of things, and I think there's like a good amount of variety. And they have great desserts as well. And I need a culture that has good desserts.
That's an excellent point. Mexican food is so good. I think it's like you have the spice, you have the texture, you have the fresh elements in there, and it's just like the most
it's delicious.
Satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that might be my answer, or maybe like Thai or something. But maybe Thai is a little too like spicy all the time. Like I don't know if I want like always Thai for breakfast. And also, what kind of desserts do they have? I don't know. Maybe I'm not up to date with Thai.
Yeah,
cuisine.
I don't know what Thai breakfast is like, or desserts. Pardon our ignorance
Cards,
here.
yeah. If anyone has some insight in some Thai breakfast or desserts, please let us know. We also Google this after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably Mexican, I would say.
Yeah. That's a good call. That's a good call. I was gonna say, for me, probably Indian, because I am Indian and I just love my mom's food so much that if I had to only pick one, that it would be that. And I don't know if Indian desserts are my most favorite, but everything else is lovely and delicious and satisfying. So
Indian desserts, they really get to my sweet tooth. They're really nice.
Yeah, they're very sweet, right? Very rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your last question?
My last question is, tell me your best food pun. I'm putting you on the spot.
I actually love puns. I'm trying to. I know some. I'm trying to think. I can't remember them right now though. Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
This one. Oh, what's the end? Okay.
Yeah.
Why was the cucumber sad?
I don't know. Why was the cucumber sad?
Because he was in a pickle.
That's funny. That's very funny. I like that one. I love corny jokes.
I love corny jokes. I didn't come up with it though, so like I don't know who came up with it, but I love dad jokes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right.
So that was fun. I feel like I got to.
Pun.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But actually, I kind of gave it away because my pun was gonna be, I would tell you, but it would be too cheesy.
Oh.
So I think with the corny, I kind of gave it away because that works too.
That works too.
So yeah. All right. That was fun.
That was fun. I feel like I got to know you a little
better.
more.
Yeah.
We'd love to get to know you a little better too, so you can share what your favorite food pun is in the comments too.
Yeah, all right. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And follow us on Instagram.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.